We're out here in the mountains. I don't have really much footage. We've just been cruising with the family. I was trying to think of a video to do. I get a lot of requests of like what's done to your YXZ. I'm gonna test this microphone out that I'm holding in my hand. It's aka my phone, just in case the camera doesn't work. I don't want to have to reshoot all this. So let's start off with the front end of this machine. This is a 2018 model, so it's got the cool painted blue plastics, not just the basic blue plastics. I really like that about the 18 special edition. I added this 2019 hood scoop style. I kind of like the aggressive look that this has. It's got factory X2 shocks that I powder coated, just the springs. So stock springs, stock shocks, stock valving. I just put these shocks on comfort setting. As you can see, a lot of the time they work really good. I'm honestly very happy with these shocks. On the front end, we got the Heretic Studio headlights. I think one of my LEDs is out. I need to get with those guys because these have a lifetime warranty, but yeah, one of my blue strips is out. Also in the front end, we've got the Weller tie rods. These things are some beefy tie rods. I've put them to the test when that sand rail came through and clipped out all my suspension. These things were sick. Right now there's no front diff in it, no axles. Basically try to get it to wheelie a little bit easier. I just got axle stubs to hold the hub together. The thing is on 2-inch wheel spacers to give it that stance. The Alba wheel spacers, I can't speak anything bad about those things. I beat the crap out of these wheel spacers on both my YXZs, my old gray one and this one, and they just take a beating. Okay, now moving on to the side of the car. We've got these QB wheels, nothing special, they're just the dirt setup. We got the 32-inch Tusk Terabytes on 14-inch wheels. Great tires. I've had multiple sets of these. I love them. We got these eBay mirrors. I bought these like back in 2019. I've had them forever. They work great. They look great. Nothing special about those. One of the big ones, this cage. I get asked about this cage more than anything. This is a Rebel style customs cage. Some local people here out of Utah build these. They do the cleanest work you'll ever see. I mean, these roof lines, they roll them right around the roof. It looks so good. The light bar is all Frenched in. The glass, they ended up doing the glass windshield for me, so they build a whole frame around it, put DOT glass in here. Looks super clean, super good. The Gray Z, I like that cage a lot because it had a truggy style, so it just wrapped around right here. There was no back bar. They ended up reinforcing the frame and running a bar this way, which was super cool. But yeah, super clean cage. Even the whip mounts, there's perfect holes just to mount your whips. Everything looks clean. So for the sand setup, on the rear, I've got the Blackbird 32 16 paddle, number 3 paddle, comp cut. Super aggressive paddles, awesome paddles with the Packard Wishbone light wheels. And then on the front, I got just some smooth scats that are buffed on some Douglas wheels. I do have a 10 paddle scat rear paddle. I just don't like scats very much. I keep ripping them apart. Even on the Gray Z, a low horsepower car, rip paddles off. I don't know if it's the locker ends or what. Let's move on to the back now. We'll go through all this mess. This is where all the cool stuff is. All right, for the motor build, it is an Alba Stage 4 bottom end kit. Really good kit, really built, good for good power. Up to the head, we got the Packard ported head, and then we got Packard's turbo cams in there. CHP valve springs and hats with kibble white valves. We got the K&T turbo kit. This kit, I have beat the living crap out of it. I have had this turbo glowing. And this kit just keeps performing. I can't speak highly enough about this kit. It's got the Spall dual fans with the intercooler mounted flat kind of hidden. I can keep my box and still use this thing for what it's meant to be used for. I ended up rerouting the air filter. It did come into the bed. That's a problem with the box there. So I rerouted it up into this container. Then it shoots straight up behind my head. You get all the turbo sounds that way. Out of the turbo, I got a cheap eBay $33 muffler. Welded on some adapters to it, put it on this kit. It sounds pretty good. I still want to change it, but I'm constantly working on this thing. We got the DLP alternator kit that goes to the front of the motor. Currently the alternator's not hooked up. I broke a belt. It's kind of a pain in the butt to change the belt. My stator's still good, so we're just running that. Not running a lot of high power out here. Wanted to get out here and test this diff and driveline. So speaking of the driveline, I've got the Packard driveline. It's got that little rubber disc in there. Help take some of that shock away from the diff. The Packard billet diff. It's honestly been a pretty good diff. I abused it. I should have put this driveline on a long time ago. Okay, so fuel system. We've got a Walbro 255 pump in the tank. The Aeromotive return style fuel system. Some IDI 1050s. K&T kit's pretty badass. That's all we really have over here. So I do have a Can-Am style catch can up there. You got to keep up on that filter or else it will clog and it'll start blowing smoke. So yeah, I do have rock lights all under the car. You're obviously not going to see them right now. And the suspension, it's just factory suspension, factory X2 shocks on comfort setting. I went a little bit out of comfort setting and kind of messed with some stuff. But if you're looking what to do, the wheel spacers, comfort setting on the X2s, I think it's pretty good. And I just went like factory settings on all these. I don't know why people have such a problem with these shocks. I mean, I've hit some whoops out at Knowles. I'm in the top of third gear, so that's 60 miles an hour plus whatever these tires, you know, 60 miles an hour on the speedometer. It flies through them. I think speed is your key. I definitely think taking the front diff out and then having the box just going fast. I think that's your keys to making these things hit whoops and bumps. Okay, for the interior, it's super basic. I just got assault harnesses, really good harnesses, a Simpson bar pad covers so that you don't have that dorky black part that comes up over your doors. Got a little cheap boost gauge. Got the Dyno Jet YXZ switch panel by 50 cal. I've just got light bar, underglow, high boost, low boost, and then turn signals for whenever I make it street legal. Nothing crazy, no seats. I'd like to do seats. I do have a bump seat in here for the kiddo, and so I think the factory seats is kind of what I'm limited to. For the high-low switch, I have a Turbo Smart dual stage boost controller. So you just set the boost for the low, set the boost for the high, and then all the tuning's done in the map. So for tuning, I got a base map flash from Alva Racing on the ECU to pull timing, take all the limiters off and everything. Speed limiter, I mean. And then just a Dyno Jet. I got the Pod 300 that comes with the K&T turbo kit and the PCV5. Luckily I got a PCV5 because now the PCV6, that's just worse. The EPA is trying to get involved, and yeah, if you got a PC5, hold on to it. They're going to be worth some money here soon. So that's it for the interior. I'll probably forget a bunch of stuff. You know how these go. I'll be watching this video back and be like, dang it, I forgot to put that in.